So it seems that Ninja Kiwi has finally taken the foot off the gas, as this boss event is, well, not as complicated as the previous ones, at least not in comparison, right? Because we still do have some interesting rules. For example, the best towers from each category, well, I guess there are some left, but the bomb, the sniper, which is, I guess, the elite defender, this is the Moab Elim, and this is the, I guess, the copper, the spikes, and the spike Paragon, which are now effectively bad with this event. And the modifiers are not exactly that complicated. The boss is a little bit beefier and a little bit faster. Now here's what we're gonna do. We are going to make things a little bit more complicated for ourselves, because we're gonna be playing with fast track. So fast track, you guys at this point know what it does, but just really quickly for people that don't know what it does, essentially 1/4 of the round set you get to skip it, so you fast forward. They give you the entirety of the cash that you would have had by this point, and for boss events that is round 35. Now in bosses you actually don't want to be skipping rounds, because if you just play from rounds 1 to 35 you would make a lot more money. So here's how I want to start things off. We are going to be defending with attack, which they were very nice to leave, so let's go like this. I'm going to buy 2 alchemists, which might seem a little bit, you know, crazy, but one of them is going to be a buffing alchemist, is this one, and this one is going to be the rubber to gold. So let's go like this, 203 on the tag. I think it's going to be about it, guys. I don't think we can do anything else. I mean, yeah, the cash is really tight. Let's go for larger portions, and then on 35 there are going to be ceramic balloons, because dread balloon changes the underlying rounds. Actually, basically all these balloons get upgraded by a tier, and actually that's one of the reasons why I want to rush a lead to gold, because every zebra balloon in dread balloon gets upgraded to a lead, and then every lead gets upgraded into a fortified lead. So basically you make a lot of money out of lead balloons, is what I'm saying. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of leaks. We're gonna have some camo white balloons, 160. So as long as you don't lose any lives on this one, 164 should be more than enough to tank all the camo white balloons to 37, and then we're gonna have time to react by 42, which is when the next camos are gonna be. So let me buy the Berserker Brew. Actually, this is gonna give us +1 damage. Yes, look at this thing, lead balloons. Look at this return on investment. This is absolutely crazy. So these guys should have been zebras, by the way, and they're lead balloons, so we're making a lot of money off of them. And actually, let's just how do I want to proceed after this? I mean, maybe we go for something like another 200 farm. Let me buy a this is gonna be the first marketplace, and then I think there are gonna be a couple of lead balloons actually on 39 at the start, if I'm not mistaken. Let's try and buy one more marketplace, because we're gonna make a lot of money. So after these white balloons we should see some leads actually. Yes, there we go. Okay, so these guys should have been zebras. Some fortified leads. Now do we actually go for the third one? I'm not exactly sure. Oh, these are ceramic ones. Can we defend ceramics now? I think we might be able to do so. There's a little bit of a problem, and is that the ceramics get upgraded to fortified ceramics, if I'm not mistaken. So once the boss appears, I think we're gonna see some fortified ceramics now. Is that correct? There's some lead balloons for sure. Let's buy the marketplace, and then I was actually thinking of buying the parachute potions for these. Yes, exactly. Okay, so let's switch this out to strong. Yes, the parachute potion is gonna remove at least some of the fortified state of these ceramics, and that's gonna be nice. Okay, that's great. All right, so this is the plan for the tier 1. We're gonna use this ability twice, so let's use the first time, and yes, there we go. So one more usage of the ability. The primary immunity is gonna be gone. We sell the sub for a tank zone, and hopefully that's gonna be good enough. And we actually need to hurry up a little bit, because once Dread Balloon loses his shield, he is sped up by a lot, as you guys can see. So we need this ability to come off cooldown like ASAP. Oh, some fortified ceramics actually. Let's use Ben's level 3 ability. Maybe buy something like, oh no, that's not what I wanted to buy. Let's go something like this, a 320 glue. Hopefully this holds. The second ability is coming off cooldown. This is really messy. We're making things a lot more difficult for no reason, but there we go. We get the ability. Okay, so let's sell this guy. I think we can sell the glue actually as well. Some rock balloons incoming. I think we need to sell at least one of these guys. Let's buy the tag zone, and then I also wanted to buy the embrittlement ice, which I'm gonna have like this. Oh no, the damage is not there. I think we need to sell one more marketplace, because we need the embrittlement to de-land Dread Balloon. Yes, just relying on the MD buffs doesn't seem to be enough. I think we're gonna get the stronger stim actually on this guy, and hopefully I think we do have the damage. Once you buy the tag zone, I think it's pretty much over for the tier 1 at least. And there it is. We actually do get it done. Round 49, it seems like, at the start of 49. There it is. Tier 1 popped. Alright, so let's quickly redo the setup again. So first things first, sell the tag. Let's buy the overdrive. I think we probably have to sell the embrittlement as well, just for the extra cash. Yeah, so Minneapolis, go like this. Keep spamming a bunch of 0, 2, 3 farms and hope this is gonna be fine. Hopefully these lead balloons, by the way, they help us out a lot. And there are a lot of lead balloons. You make a lot of money thanks to those lead balloons, but yeah, just hopefully we survive. Okay, but I think we're gonna have to graduate from buying marketplaces in a second. I want to start things off by making this tag a little bit stronger. So let's start things off by giving it a consistent camo source. I guess we can sell this up now. And then here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and make one of these guys into the BRF, and then do we have the engines available? We do. Okay, so let's overclock the BRF and let's make that be our goal before we reach the next tier of boss, and maybe like a central market or two. I was thinking, is this gonna be worth it? I bought a sub so that we can decamo these balloons because this guy is not in range, so we can use the lead to gold on them, and I think that's gonna be mega worth it. Oh my god, that was great. I'm gonna sell the sub. We're gonna lose a little bit of cash, but I think that was absolutely worth it. So we have about 20k before going to this boss. Okay, so let's go like this. Let's spend the money into central markets. I know, but I think this is gonna be a great choice. I'm also gonna buy favorite trades boats so that when we have to sell them, we're gonna get a little bit of cash back. By the way, round 63 incoming in a second. We have to be really careful. So for the first wave, I'm gonna use Ben's siphon funding actually, so we reduce these ceramics into. Actually, wait, I think these guys were 45 ceramics. Yeah, there we go. So did they actually get reduced to normal ceramics or just straight up rainbows again? I'm not exactly sure, but are we dealing with them? I think we are. Yeah, that's the second wave, and then for the third wave, I think we're just gonna use the dartling ability. So let's go like this. Let's make sure we micro it and follow it along. Not exactly in a hurry to buy the mat, by the way, because the boss is very slow, and we're only gonna be using the mat, I'm pretty sure, just for the primary immunity. So let's go like this. Let's just use the ability. Make sure we're targeting a little bit away because I see some lead balloons, so we want to make money off of these guys. We can also start getting ready for the tag zones. For example, we can still buy the super bill, which I guess it would be nice to have like up here. So go like this. There goes the primary immunity. So let's go. Let's sell, buy the super bill, buy the tag zone, and then if we can do one more thing, we can disconnect this overclock from the BRF, and then we can use it onto the tag zone. So let's go like this, hook up the NG again to the tech bot. And is this gonna be fine, guys? I hope it is. I mean, the tag zone really does do a lot of damage. This is a great spot for it, by the way. Almost every single attack is going into Dread Balloon, and even though this is like the tier 2, it's like not even close. That is so good, actually. And even the rock balloons are getting popped, which I'm really happy about. I think Dread Balloon even got nerfed in the previous update, which is 49. I think everyone is moving a little bit slower, if I remember correctly. So I think that's helping out a little bit for sure. And there it is, support immunity just getting grinded down by this tag. And you guys know what? We are dealing with this boss somehow. Tier 2, it's round 68, so this is a late pop, to be fair, but you know what, it's better than no pop, I guess, especially, you know, given that we're making things a little bit harder for ourselves for no needs. So let's go like this. Let me sell the super bill. I think I'm gonna keep something like a 420 ice just for a little bit of extra damage. I was thinking maybe get something like a 320 on the village, and then it's time for us to buy the banana central. Let's get the overclock back on the banana central again, and then we're just gonna keep spamming 420 farms until the next tier boss. Okay, so what's the plan for tier 3? We have a bunch of farms. We're making a decent amount of money. The comeback is very real, guys, and it's been doing well so far. Honestly, look at the amount of farms that we managed to buy before the tier 3. I think we can still go for something like the tag zone. Maybe even getting the tag paragon wouldn't be that bad of an idea. So how about we start things off with the mat? Again, we're gonna need to buff the mat, and again, the idea is to just get rid of this primary immunity. So let's get the mat like this. It's been buffed just by a berserker brew. I don't think I'm gonna be buying the stronger stim, even though of course we can afford it, but I don't think there's a need because this guy's only gonna be on the field for like the next handful of rounds. And I think what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start buying the tag sacrificial towers for the tag paragon, because I think that's gonna be a fun way to go about this. I mean, we've used the tag zone for the first 2 tiers, so why not just keep going and do the same thing for the tier 3? So yeah, let me just keep placing a couple of these tags. Yeah, definitely a little bit slower this time around with the mat. I'm using the ability, and I guess that's kind of a bright spot that they made the ability do like an enormous amount of damage, at least in comparison to the normal attacks. We do get the money for the tag paragon, by the way, so as soon as we get rid of this thing, how is it looking? It's looking good. I think one more ability and we have it, and hopefully we pop it on time, because I really want to have the boss like be in this area when we get rid of the primary immunity. All right, almost there, and then let's use the ability for one last time. There we go. Let's sell, by the way, the map because we no longer need it, and let me buy the tag paragon. I don't think we're putting too much cash into this thing. I think just like a degree 20 something is probably gonna be fine. Yeah, it's gonna be a 23. All right, so 23 should be able to melt the boss, no problem. I guess we could add a super brilliant just because this thing attacks with like a million projectiles, so that's gonna be amazing. And let's dump some of the other abilities. Let's use the Maelstrom. Let me dump the Meteor, which is gonna take away, oh my god, that was like half the shield. And look at this thing. I mean, once you buy it, it's not even close. Look at what's happening. I think we should at least include another attack Paragon in our setup later down the line, because this is just so good at this spot. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm likely gonna sell, I guess, the majority of these towers, because I want to keep the attack. We're gonna rebuy it in a second, but first things first, we need to just fill out this entirety of the map with a bunch of farms, whatever's left of the space. I also bought 2 subs to decount because attack Paragon does not have innate count detection, and I'm just gonna place a couple more 4-0 farms, and I guess I'm gonna see you guys in a second for the tier 4. I have an idea for a tier 4. What if we buy the engine Paragon and we give basically a huge buff to whatever is gonna be the last Paragon, because it's not gonna be the attack. So I kept the attack from the tier 3. Let's buy the Master Builder, and with the new overclock ability, I think we're gonna put a bunch of cash into this thing, because we want to get over degree 40. So how much is that gonna be? Oh, 33. That's not enough, actually. Well, in terms of the damage that we're gonna need for this one, it is gonna be enough, but it's just that the Power Glove ability is not gonna have 100% uptime, I don't think, which I guess it's gonna be fine. I don't think we mind too much. So whenever we get rid of the primary immunity, let's overclock the attack Paragon, and hopefully we beat it like that. Now let's start placing up these sentries. We're not only using it as a buffing tower this time around, this Engi Paragon, we're actually going to use it to do some damage. I guess the good thing is that the Engi Paragon overclocks itself, so by the time they reach the last boss, it is going to become decently powerful by itself. And there goes the primary immunity in a second, and let's use the Power Glove ability onto this attack Paragon and see what it's going to do. So there it is. Let's use the ability and see how much of a difference can we notice in the damage. I'm going to just use a couple of these abilities as well. Are we noticing anything, actually? I don't know. I feel like we have too much damage with the Engi Paragon, because it's kind of the medium to high price range, and I want to say, and so even though it's like a 33, it's not particularly weak versus this tier 4 boss, I don't think. Let's do one more Power Glove ability, and then when we hit the support immunity, this is when we're actually going to be able to see it. So it's only a degree 23, which is not ideal for a boss like this, but let's just keep using the abilities. I think it's going to be fine. I think we're going to beat it for sure. Oh yeah, look at this thing. Yeah, for sure, this Power Glove ability, guys, I'm telling you, and the uptime is, wait a minute, it's not that bad. I don't think it's not exactly 100%, but it's kind of close to 100%, so I don't actually mind this degree 33 on the Engi Paragon, and there it is. We actually do get it done with these 2 Paragons. Alright, so for the last one, let's actually do the Wizard then, because the Wizard plus the Metamorphosis ability are insanely strong with the Power Glove ability, so let's do that combo, I was thinking. So I'm gonna see you guys in a second for the tier 5 and that insane combo. And let's buy the Maze Perfectus with all the cash that we can afford. Maybe actually leave a little bit for these damage amplification towers, something like this. Alright, so how much is that gonna be? It's gonna be degree 54. That is insane, with a little bit of a caveat, and is the Bloons has this magic immunity. So let's hit start and let's see what we can make happen with this guy. So 30 million HP, but it's a lot more because of the shield. The shield is not actually getting counted in that number. So let's first off get a gauge on how good we are without using any ability. So this is mainly the Engi Paragon, or at least the sentries without the main tower attacking plus the Wizard. We can do a lot more damage at this. It's just that let's just get a gauge on how good we are. Alright, so we can do our first combo. So let's actually make sure we have some mana. Let's try and fill up this mana pool. I'm going to use the Power Glove ability onto the Wizard Paragon, and then as soon as we hit about 100k, let's use it to just watch the HP, guys. This is insane. Are you watching the HP of this boss just get completely decimated? And the good thing is that after a primary, we have the military immunity coming in, so this guy can still attack and do a lot of damage. Look at this thing. It's still going through. It's not even halfway through, by the way, because this is going to go down to 0, and the Power Glove is still there. Yes, just a single Paragon, guys. This is insane. Look at just a single Paragon with the Power Glove destroying it. There it is. It finally stopped, but not before doing like 50% HP. Oh my god, that is wild. Okay, so we're finally hitting the magic immunity, so the Power Glove is now going to go onto the attack Paragon. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a slower stage for sure, because the Wizard is our most powerful Paragon. So as soon as we get rid of the magic immunity, we're back in action with the Metamorphosis. I also, by the way, hooked up the attack Paragon to the stick bot, so all these abilities are just automatically going through, and it seems like we're doing fine, honestly. Like, the degrees are not exactly that high on both of the Paragons, but it's enough to get the job done. And once we're done with the magic, let's do the combo once again. So magic immunity about to pop, and let's go. Let's do it again. So overclock, boom, Metamorphosis, and just watch the HP of a boss get absolutely decimated. Oh, wait a minute, why did it stop? Who is this guy? Oh no, he's not attacking anyone because he doesn't have any, oh my god, he doesn't have any power. He was recharging. Oh my god, I didn't check the mana, so he was recharging actually. Now the Metamorphosis ability is on cooldown. Okay, so let's turn this guy off, then fill the mana. The Metamorphosis is going to be out in a second. We're still going to get to the combo, guys, so, and it's going to be in a second. So let's wait a tiny bit until we reach 100k. Let's use the overclock, and the Metamorphosis is up. Go. Now we have the mana, and just watch the HP bar up top get absolutely decimated. Yep, there it is. And that was a very fun boss. Actually not as difficult as the previous weeks. They certainly did put some modifiers in, but nothing too complicated. And there we go. We actually saved it from fast track. So that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.